Do you have shoe boxes of family photos up under your bed or boxes of VHS tapes stacked in the garage? If you said yes, then this episode is for you. Today I'm talking about starting your family digital archive. Welcome to another episode of Journey Through the Generations. My name is Trisa. Today's topic is one that is near and dear to my heart and something that I've been working on for the past 3 years, and that is creating my family digital archive. I'm starting to take all of those pictures out of boxes, out of albums, and I'm starting to scan them and digitize them. Along with photos, I also had the opportunity to digitize some VHS tapes of family reunions, school graduations, weddings, and childhood sporting activities. Today I'm going to share the equipment that I've used, how I find the libraries that had this equipment that I traveled to, and why creating this family archive is so important, not only for me, but for future generations as well. Before I get into the how, let's talk about why digitizing matters. Family photos, VHS tapes, projection slides, and negatives. Photos fade, tapes break down, newspapers turn yellow and become brittle. So that's why it's important for us to start digitizing. The materials that I started digitizing were from the 60s and 70s. And thinking back, I didn't think that they were that old, but honestly, they were 50 and 60 years old, so they weren't in the best of shape. We move, we box things, boxes get lost. There's natural disasters, flooding, tornadoes, hurricanes, and sometimes fires. So we want to be able to protect our memories. And the way we can protect them best is by digitizing them. Digitizing our family memories creates a safety net for our family history so that it isn't forever lost in one bad moment. So how did I start digitizing all of these photos and VHS tapes? If you've been listening to this podcast or reading my blog for any time, then you know most roads lead to Roots Tech when it comes to me and my genealogy. This project started with a trip that I was planning to Roots Tech in Salt Lake City, Utah in 2023. As I was planning my trip to the Family Search Library, I was on their website and I saw that they had a new feature in the library called the Memory Lane section. This section had different types of equipment to scan and digitize photos, home movies, VHS tapes, slides, negatives, cassette tapes, 8mm tapes, Super 8 film, mini videotapes. You name it, they had something that could digitize your family memories. And according to the website, all I needed was an appointment and all these services were free. So I was super excited. Always remember to make an appointment once you find a library that has this type of equipment. And also remember to arrive a little early to your appointment. Different libraries have different equipment. So even if you've digitized something previously, one library may have different equipment. And also, some libraries make you complete a short tutorial of their equipment before you use it. So you want to make sure you're maximizing the time that you have if you show up a little bit early. In order to make my appointment, I had to figure out what exactly I was digitizing and what equipment I needed. Each appointment, you're actually reserving a piece of equipment. I knew I wanted to scan and digitize photos because that's what I had the most of, and also my wedding tape. So those were the two things that I knew for sure that I was taking with me, which meant I needed 2 separate appointments because each one needed different equipment to be able to digitize them. Most libraries won't let you make an appointment for different equipment at the same time. So I had to make an 11 o'clock appointment for the photos. And then I made a 1 o'clock appointment for the VHS tape. Then I thought to myself, well, maybe I can ask Philip to help me. He's going to be at Roots Tech. And I asked him if he would come to the library early with me and we could just get it done in the morning. And then I switched my appointments from 1 to 11. So I had an appointment at 11 with the photos and he had an appointment at 11 with the VHS tape. For the photos, I chose to use the Epson Fast Photo Scanner. Now, this is a piece of equipment that is a dream. It's just great. I don't know how else to explain it. And I didn't know what to do because I was so excited. I didn't know where to start. It can scan photos from sizes 2x2 to 8x10. And then it said that you can also do 8x10 paper documents like birth certificates or death certificates. So that got me to thinking. I have a whole family history binder that's full of death certificates, birth certificates, family group sheets that I've completed for all the men in my family. And I thought I could take that with me and get all of that scanned, and I could have my whole family history binder digitized. The Epson Fast Photo will scan up to 36 pieces of paper or photos in 30 seconds. Now, that is fast. Now, when I read that on the website, I knew it was fast, but when I got there and used it, it's really fast. I mean, 30 seconds and you're done with the stack of 36. I was like, I should have brought more stuff. But I digress. The Fast Photo also scans the front and the back of the photo. So if you have photos that have handwritten information on the back, like names or dates, places like that, it will scan that as well. So you will get a file of the front of the picture, and then you will get a file of the back of the picture. So each picture will have two files, the front and the back. Each scan is saved in a JPEG format, which honestly, I have no idea what that means, but my husband tells me that that's really important, and I needed to make sure I tell you. So if you are ever able to use Epson Fast Photo Scanner, these are the 2 tips that I have for you. Organize your stacks of pictures by size. So put all the 4x6s together, all the 8x10s together, all the 5x7s, all the paper documents, put those together, and that way they'll scan smoothly. Also, when you're going through your pictures and you're deciding what you're going to scan, make sure that there's not any tape on the back of the pictures, there's not any staples, no paper clips, nothing that could jam in the machine, because you don't want to cause more harm to the machine. You want it to run smoothly while you're there. For the VHS conversion equipment, I had plans on 3 videos that I wanted to make sure that I digitized. My wedding VHS, my brother's weddings VHS, and Philip's brother's VHS. Now, the thing to remember when you're digitizing VHS tapes, the equipment allows you to actually play the VHS tape. You can't speed it up. So if you have a VHS tape that is an hour and 15 minutes long, that you want to digitize, you will have to sit there for an hour and 15 minutes and watch it as it's digitizing. There's no way around getting it to go faster. Philip and I were at the Family Search Library in the Memory Lane section for 4 hours that morning. We were able to get, I didn't count, but hundreds of photos scanned, my entire family history binder, along with some funeral programs that I had taken with me. So well over 200 pictures and 200 documents. I felt like I had made a good start to my family digital archive. So the next year when we went to Roots Tech, we did the exact same thing. We packed up some pictures, I got some more documents together, and we spent another 4 hours at the Family Search Library in the Memory Lane. After my second trip, I decided maybe I should look up and see if I can find a library around my hometown that has some digitizing equipment. So I Googled libraries in Arkansas with digitizing equipment to see what popped up. And sure enough, there were some libraries within driving distance that had VHS conversion equipment. And we also have a family history library, which is an affiliate of the Family Search Library in our hometown. And they have an Epson Fast Photo machine that I can go up and use. Finding libraries nearby with digitizing equipment helped me continue my quest for creating my family digital archive throughout the year, and I didn't have to wait for Roots Tech once a year. As for my personal equipment that I needed, I did need to bring a few things with me, and one of the most important things is a USB hard drive. Now for me, I'm doing photos and videos almost everywhere I go, so I want to make sure I have enough storage for the videos. I started out with a 32 gigabyte hard drive because I wanted to make sure I had enough space. So the thing to remember is the more space that you get, if you go higher than a 32 gigabyte, a 64 gigabyte, a terabyte, you're going to spend more money. So whatever you can afford is what you should start out with. So I have a USB hard drive for my photos. I have a separate one for my videos, and I always keep a spare just in case something happens. That's just what I do. you do whatever makes you feel comfortable. So make sure you do bring a USB hard drive with you when you go to libraries to do this type of digitizing, because the libraries will not give you one. Now that you've scanned all your photos and documents, it's time to name those files on your USB hard drive. If you were able to use the fast photo machine, the thing to remember is that each photo will have two files, one for the front of the picture and one for the back of the picture. So when I go in to name my files, I try to use information that anybody who's looking for it would be able to find it. For example, if I have a death certificate, I'm going to use the first name _ last name _ death certificate. That's how I name my death certificates. I do the same thing for birth certificates, wedding programs, funeral programs, anything like that. That's what works for me. But make sure that whatever you're naming your documents is what makes sense for you and that you will be able to recognize and know what it is. And the same thing goes for photos. I try to put as much information as I can. I put the names, the dates, the places, as much information as I can so I can remember what that is when I'm looking at just the file names. And also remember, you're going to do that for the front and the back. So for the back of pictures that I know have writing on it, I write the exact same thing that's written on the photo, and then I put _ back. And that way I know that's the back of a picture. So when I'm looking for something to share on Facebook or on my blog, and I'm able to find what I'm looking for easily because I've named it in such a way that I can find what I'm looking for easily. And speaking of sharing, once you've done all the work of scanning and digitizing, you have those files named, you can easily find them on your computer or your hard drive. Then comes the fun part, you actually sharing it with other people. Whether you're making a slideshow for a family reunion, just to show pictures to younger family members while on vacation, sending photos to long distance relatives through email, or posting a wordless Wednesday on my blog. Family photos literally are at my fingertips now. So to recap, gather all your photos, your VHS tapes, your negatives, anything that you want to scan. You're going to find a library nearby with digitizing equipment. You're going to organize and name those digital files. You're going to back up your files in multiple places. That's important. And finally, you're going to share all of the family memories that you've been able to preserve. I like to think of this process more of a marathon instead of a sprint. This is not something that's going to happen overnight, in a week, or even a year. It's going to take a while, but it's going to be so worth it. And just remember, if you are that family historian in the family, you're always going to be collecting even more photos. People are going to give you even more funeral programs. You're going to find more VHS tapes. So this really is my life's work. This isn't just a project. This is a gift for my family and for future generations. I hope this has helped you want to start or continue to create your own family digital archive. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and don't forget about my blog. Until next time, keep preserving your history one scan at a time. Thanks, guys.